Hi everyone. Good morning. We'll just wait for a few more minutes to make the other people join. Okay, we'll start in a couple of minutes. In the meanwhile, do let me know. Am I audible to you guys who are present in the session?
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay. Thanks for the response and let's wait. Yeah. Okay. Um, I think we'll have a quick start now. It's already 8 minutes past. So hi everyone. Thanks for joining this service no demo. And you know, thanks for taking out some time and on the over the weekend and trying to join this call. My name is Kishore, and I'm going to give you the initial introduction of our company. And later on, Srikanth is going to take care of the service now walkthrough, and then we can discuss the other things later. So basically, we are a technology kind of trainers, not the trainers whom you found in the institutes. We are the industry experts who have spent around like 18 plus years into this.
Sorry, Kishore, I think you need to share your screen.
You're not able to see my screen?
No.
No. Just give me a second. I'll try to reshare it.
So I was able to see the screen.
You're able to see the screen, right? So Santosh is able to see the screen. Um, Anyways, I'm just trying to reshare it again. I'm trying to reshare the entire screen. Do let me know who's not able to see the screen. How is it, Srikant, now for you?
I think it's the same. Probably you can start off. I'll just rejoin.
Yeah. Yeah. So just trying to say like we are the industry, we have that experience in various technologies, and we have gone through the challenges in different projects. And altogether, like we have collaborated. This is the people who have the same kind of experience on different technologies, right? We have collaborated together, and we started this Kalki Tech, and we started doing the trainings. So we do the trainings in the business intelligence area, and we also do some application development and web development stuff, and so on. So as of now, so thing is that like till now, when it comes to the data business analytics or data analytics part, we have trained around like 21 people in Power BI, and ServiceNow is other technology which we have launched, and we have been, since this is the second batch which we are starting with. And moving forward, we also have the Python related technologies, and Microsoft Fabric, Databricks and all. Okay, so basically that's what all it's like a kind of a short introduction about our company. Our main idea is to give a kind of industry rated kind of a training to whoever seeking for maybe a freshers, or who wants to upskill, or who are like experienced, who's just looking for a jobs and all. So we are here to train you, and also it's not a kind of just a theoretical kind of a stuff. It is like kind of interactive sessions. We are going to plan, or we're going to drive it, and that is for sure. It will make the trainee get hold of the technology and get the hands-on experience on the real-time projects as well. Okay, so now we'll start with the service now. Srikant, I'm on slide 5. Over to Srikant. He's going to explain about the service now. You're able to see my screen, right? All Anybody just respond. Santosh, yes, you're able to see my screen. The other people.
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay. Just give me a second. Let's see. Srikant is going to rejoin the call.
Yeah, can you hear me, Kishore?
Yeah, I can hear you, Srikant. And are you able to see my screen now?
No, I don't know. I
No,
can't see it
it's
from
okay.
this.
No,
We
it's
can
okay. You can
continue.
go.
Yeah.
You can go with the slide 5. Over to you. If you
Okay.
want, I can
No,
change the
that's fine.
slide.
So, hello all. Myself, Shrikant. I hope you all can hear me clearly, right? Okay, cool. So, myself, Srikant, having overall 19 plus years of experience in the IT, and on service now, it's around 18 years that I've been on service now. Served for multiple clients, and working in one of the Belgium-based organization. So here I am to give a short demo on how what ServiceNow is, what are the benefits of using ServiceNow, and stuff. Okay, so I hope you all able to see the screen for right. What is ServiceNow? So ServiceNow is an cloud-based, digital workflow platform. Okay, so that most of the organizations uses to, automate their processes, manage their services, and improves, to improve their operational efficiencies. And if you see the core capabilities, right, it has a lot of cool capabilities like automations, where it can automate certain repetitive tasks. Okay, standardize the processes. It has a wide range of integration capabilities that it can expand itself to integrate with any set of tools. And there are a lot of innovative solutions embedded within ServiceNow. And it has a lot of secure security related compliances, right, wherein it can host the data securely, manage the data securely, transit the data securely and stuff. And it can also optimize a lot of repetitive tasks that we do it in daily day-to-day activities, right? So where does ServiceNow, fits in? So primarily ServiceNow fits in, your IT services managements. IT service managements meaning, I hope you all know, the concept of incidents and stuff, right? So like say for example, you have an issue with your internet, and you call your support, right? You I think now it's everything through chatbots. It raises a ticket to you, right? And that's what it's the incident management is. So wherein it creates a ticket, right, and it creates a ticket in the system, and where the agents works on these tickets. I'll try to show the demo after this. And then IT operations management, where if there is an issues, it all deals with all the physical assets, operational assets and stuff. HR services, customer management, security operations, app engines. So wherever there are these organizations, right? So all these kinds of domains fits into ServiceNow. Let's go to the next slide, Kishore, slides 6. The
Yeah.
benefits of ServiceNow, right? So let's talk about the benefits of uh, you know ServiceNow. One is improve productivity, because it has a lot of capabilities, like it can automate the end-to-end processes. It can improve the productivity of the organization by automating certain things, reducing the manual efforts. Okay. Um, and then lower the operational costs, right? So because you have streamlined your operations, you have reduced a lot of manual efforts, you have automated things, obviously it lowers your operational costs. Better employee and customer experiences, right? So you have an user friendly interfaces, wherein for both the end users and the service desk agents, who can actually work on uh, you know these ServiceNow. So ServiceNow has the capability to have two different interfaces, one for the end user and one for the service desk agents, right? And then we have end-to-end visibility and the control. So it also showcases or try. It can also be used to track the end-to-end processes, the status of the processes, how the data is flowing between the systems end-to-end. Everything can be easily visible. A scalable platform growth, right? So now ServiceNow is a tool where it adopts so quickly. And now I think we all know that we have been progressing towards AI and stuff. ServiceNow is one of the tool where it has acquired a lot of AI organizations. It has embedded AI into ServiceNow. So there is a lot of AI, ML, predictive intelligence kind of capabilities within this tool. Enhanced risk and compliance, right? So it also follows certain security standards to ensure the data within ServiceNow is encrypted, and also the data that flows during the transits are encrypted. So it is also secure, and also ensures that it is compliant with the security related standards. Okay. The next one. So next is the evaluation of ServiceNow. So how ServiceNow is evaluated, right? So it started around 2024, where it has been introduced as a small SaaS system with only IT service management, wherein just managing your incidents, problems, and stuff, and it's a cloud, right? And then during 2007 to 2010, it has expanded its capabilities within ITSM, right? From incident to problem change, knowledge, catalogs, and all, it has been expanded. And during 2011 to 2014, it has expanded beyond the ITSM capabilities and introduced the operations management capabilities. Operations management, uh, operations management in the sense where it also manages all your organizational infrastructure and IT assets. And then they have enabled the digital transformation around 2015, where they have expanded beyond the ITSM capabilities and introduced the other applications like HR, CSM, governance, risk, and all. Okay. And then in 2019, it started introducing the intelligence capabilities like AI, ML, automation, predictive intelligence, and stuff. And now it has completely, moved towards the AI, completely AI. So ServiceNow within, it has its own LLM embedded within the system. It has its own ML capabilities, AI capabilities, and it also is, so flexible that it integrates with other LLMs as well. And that's how it has been evaluated. Okay. And when it comes to who, sorry, Kishu, can you go to slide 8?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And who all can learn ServiceNow, right? It's not tied to specific set of users. So ServiceNow is something that's designed for everyone, from technical to non-technical, yeah, everything. So who is aspired to build skills, on ServiceNow, like students, the fresh graduates who has just passed out of the colleges, to IT professionals who are already skilled on other domains and wanted to shift to ServiceNow, can also be, learn ServiceNow. Any business analysts, consultants who can, who are interested to work on analyzing the processes, improving the processes, and basically the developers who are enthusiastic about developing things, building, customizing, scripting and stuff. The project managers and the leaders, because ServiceNow has the project management capabilities within ServiceNow. And the career changes, someone who wanted to shift from different careers to ServiceNow, like from Salesforce to ServiceNow, or any other cloud tools to ServiceNow, right? So it's not only specific to specific set of people. It can be of, it can be to anyone from, technical and non-technical background as well. ServiceNow helps them to, build up their career within ServiceNow. There's a lot vast of roles within ServiceNow. Okay. Let's see the architecture of ServiceNow.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So within the architecture of ServiceNow, we have different layers, right? Like experience layer, which acts as a front end to the end users like us, right? Like what are the different tools that we have, or different means that we have to communicate with ServiceNow, right? Like service portals where we log in from the laptops, desktops, and stuff, the mobile applications, the virtual chatbots, different workspaces, the employee center, customer care center. So these all comes as the experience layer. So they all also been inbuilt within ServiceNow. And then the application layer. So what all different applications that we have? We have IT service management, where it serves for all the IT related stuffs. IT operations management, where it deals with physical and logical assets like your CIs, servers, computers, hardwares, printers, and stuff. IT asset management, so it manages all your assets within the organization. The assets meaning like your hardware assets, software assets, dissolvable assets like, hardware assets like your computers, hard disks, and stuff, right? Like software assets like your, your softwares in servers and stuff. Security operations, wherein you can manage your security related incidents within ServiceNow. HR services like HRSD, like all HR related information, like from your onboarding to offboarding, right? Any HR related queries, your HR related information like your payrolls, leave system, leaves management, everything can be managed within ServiceNow using the HR applications. The customer service management, right? All the customer services like I mentioned, right? Raising a complaint on a specific router, like say for example, your internet is not working, your router is not working, there was a discontinuous disconnect, or you have a query on your credit card bill, right? So all these comes under customer service management, right? So customer service management, and there were a lot of other industry workflows within ServiceNow. It is also, stepped into your real estate, your pharma, your pharmaceuticals and stuff. I think in the next slide, I'm going to show you like what all different industries that ServiceNow has been embedded into. Okay, and then we have the platform layer, right? So what actually does on the platform layer is where your actual orchestration happens. You have your database embedded into the platform layer. You have different flows, workflows. You have your playbooks, wherein that works as an orchestrators within ServiceNow. You have your low-code development IDEs, right? Like IDE in the sense, I think if you have worked on Java, you have different IDE, like different tools where you can build your Java application. Similarly, within ServiceNow, it has its own IDE. We call it as Studio, wherein you can build your own applications within ServiceNow. It has its own AI ML capabilities, and then the security and governance mechanisms under the platform layer. At the same time, you have a lot wide of reporting and reporting capabilities within ServiceNow, wherein you can report uh, on the last set of data that is already available in the ServiceNow systems. And then you have an application called Integration Hub, wherein it comes with a lot of pre-built connectors wherein you can integrate with any external system. Like say, for example, you wanted to integrate ServiceNow with Teams, you wanted to integrate ServiceNow with your WhatsApp, you want to integrate ServiceNow with your Jira or with Salesforce, any other tools that are there in the market. Okay, so Integration Hub has a lot of pre-built connectors that you can easily connect with the third-party systems. All right, you don't need to build or establish or build new APIs, new integration layers and stuff. So it also has all pre-built connectors which are available within the system that you can integrate with third-party systems. And then you have your data layer. So data layer meaning your CSDM, which we call it as common service data model, right? Like wherein all the users information, all your departments information, all your locations informations of the users, so everything that is required for all the processes that are available on the application layer, right? So for all these the common data that is stayed under common data layer. And then we have infrastructure layer, right? Infrastructure wise, it is cloud hosted, managed by ServiceNow. It has multiple data centers. It has its own encryption capabilities that are being managed by ServiceNow, right? And it also has um, a disaster recovery mechanism within ServiceNow, like in case if the system somehow went down and you're not able to restore it, you can restore to a snapshot of previous days, and stuff. So there's a lot of capabilities or at the infrastructure layer that is managed by ServiceNow, right? At the right side, if you see, there are integrations, right? Like I mentioned, there is an integration hub where it has a lot of pre-built connectors. In case if there is no connector available for a specific tool, you can build your REST or SOAP APIs, or you can build an inbound outbound integrations. You can create your own scripted APIs. You can, so there are a lot of ways that you can integrate ServiceNow with a lot of third-party tools. Okay, and then the deployment options. So you can deploy your instance on cloud, on private cloud, or on-premise as well. On-premise meaning, okay, so I'll say the difference between cloud and on-premise, right? So cloud is something that's hosted on the cloud, which is managed by ServiceNow, right? So where we don't take the accountability of the infrastructure of hosting the services, which ServiceNow takes care, and it is on cloud. And on-premise is something that we have these applications ServiceNow hosted onto our own organizational network, which means you cannot access the ServiceNow instance outside of your network. Okay, that we call it as on-premise, and that will be rarely used by some of the secured, organizations like some of the banking organizations and stuff, where they don't want to host their data on the cloud servers, where they go for on-premise. So ServiceNow has different, options wherein you can have it on public cloud, you can have it on private cloud. At the same time, you can also have it hosted on your own organizational network. Okay. I just want to give a 2-minute pause to see if anyone has any questions or anything that they wanted to understand.
Any questions from your end? Like, Srikanth, like anyways, is going to give a walkthrough on how application works and all. But still, before going to that, like any questions from your end?
Anything, don't feel that whether it can be asked or not asked, right? So I know you can ask any questions, huh?
Else we
Maybe
can.
Srikanth, just a question from my end.
Yep, yep, yep.
So if I look at ServiceNow as a product or a software group, I've, in my experience, primarily seen it used as a ticketing management system
Yes.
predominantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from that perspective, you said, if I'm not wrong, you said it's more like a workflow automation kind of
Yes.
a software, right?
Yes.
So is it then comparable to, let's say, a product like UiPath,
Mm-hmm.
Blue Prism, which are more towards RPA,
Mm-hmm.
robotic process automation? So
Yeah.
is there any fundamental difference between this workflow process automation and this robotic process automation? Are
Yes.
those technologies completely different?
Yes. So as part of the training, anyhow, we are gonna deep dive into those concepts. But there's a lot of difference between ServiceNow and the other tools where it has the flow automations and stuff, right? So I know there's a lot of people who uses ServiceNow as an end user has this perception that ServiceNow is a ticketing tool. Okay, but like I
Yeah.
mentioned in the evaluation, right? So initially, when ServiceNow started, if you go to slide number 7, Kishore,
I'm just trying to
yeah,
fix your issue. Yeah, sure, I can reshare the screen. Yeah, which slide is like 7, right?
7.
Yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay. So here, if you see in 2004, when it started as a small ticketing tool with just an incident. Okay. But in 2007, it has expanded a little bit from incident to problem and other processes. Okay. And then from 2011 it has expanded its capabilities beyond ITSM, beyond the ticketing management capabilities. So wherein from 2015 it has expanded into other processes as well apart from the ticketing. So like I mentioned, it's not only specific to ticketing system, right? Because a lot of end users who uses this tool will have used to have this perception that it's in
Lost your audio, Srikanth.
okay, can you hear me? One
Yeah,
second.
we
Yes.
can.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Somehow I think the new link that was shared is not working for me. Okay. Um, you know, so now it's because a lot of people only see us creating tickets, right? But in the back end, the from the ticket creation to the ticket closure, right? There's a lot of processes embedded into it, right? Passing from L1 to L2, L2 to L3 support. There are some SLAs defined to it, right? So there are certain transfer of work between the different supporting groups and stuff, and there's a lot of automation embedded into it. Say, for example, that's for an incident management process. But at the same time, we have flow orchestrators, like, if for example, you wanted to raise a software request, right? And you just created a request to to have an software install in your mission. So earlier it was like, just you create a request, and based on the request, when it's assigned to a support group, they go ahead and manually install the software on the request, on the target systems, and they just close the tickets. But now it has a workflow orchestrator embedded into the system, that it integrates with all your hardware assets within your system. And the other tools, I think there are other tools which does this software installations and stuff. ServiceNow gets integrated, so it has a capability to integrate with those tools, so that the installation can be automatically done from ServiceNow itself without any manual intervention. So similarly, it has embedded into the HR management, right? So where you have all your HR related processes embedded into ServiceNow, and where we call it as life cycle events, right? And there as well, all these events can be automated from your for your entire onboarding process. Say, for example, when you try to onboard a resource into your organization, right? Uh, so wherein it starts from creating a request, right? You have a lot of onboarding activities, before even the candidate joins, like creating his profiles, creating his asset requests, making sure the assets are ready before he joins. Once he joins, all the mandatory trainings gets embedded to him, till the closure of his onboarding. So all these processes can be embedded within ServiceNow using this workflow orchestrators. And also now it has introduced a lot of AI ML capabilities, that it can also uses the LLMs that are defined within ServiceNow to automatically resolve your incident. Say, for example, you have an incident, you have a ticket that has been created in ServiceNow, and until now how it happens is, when the ticket gets assigned to a specific agent, he tries to review the issue, tries to fix it or resolve it, and then manually puts in the resolution. So now, using the AI capabilities, now we can also predict the issue. The resolution can happen automatically within ServiceNow, and then the resolution gets populated automatically, right? So there are a lot of other orchestrator capabilities within ServiceNow being embedded into the system, and it has evolved a lot. I hope it answered your questions, Santosh.
Yeah, very Santosh. You're able to share the screen now. Can you just check?
Just checking, because somehow it says you have joined. One second.
I've enabled it actually. So maybe I'll stop sharing. You can check whether it is enabled here. Sorry, I mean, like, we have some technical issues. He messaged me that he's going to rejoin again. Just be patient and just give us some minute time to join. Santosh, you were there, right? So can you just check like whether you're able to share the screen? Because we have enabled for everyone, all the participants.
I can't see anyone sharing the screen. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear me, Kishore?
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
can hear you.
I don't know. Somehow it says you have joined only in read-only mode.
But you're not able to share the screen, right?
Exactly. Let me check. Sorry, guys. Give us 2 minutes. We'll just fix this thing. Can you hear me, Kishore, now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but
Okay, I
did you
can
got the
see.
top?
See now. Let me try sharing my screen. Okay.
Great. Yeah.
Okay. I hope you guys can see my screen now.
Yeah, it is. It loaded now. Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
perfect. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
I hope others can also see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. Cool. Okay. And now, so we were on the architecture of service now, right? Uh, and then, see, these are, some of the major clients where ServiceNow is being used, okay, as a tool, not specifically for their IT processes, but they have also been used for other processes within the organization. Like, say, for example, if you take the technology domain, right, IT specific, some of the key organizations like, the Microsoft, Oracle, IBM, right, are using this. Some of the financial services, because even ServiceNow is into financial financial application module, right? Some of the financial services like HSBC, MX, right, Bank of America, been using these ServiceNow as a tool for their financial services as well. Now, for some of the healthcare services, and if you see some of the healthcare services like McKesson, yeah, right, Johns, and all, been using this for their healthcare and life services. Right, it's not specifically for the ticketing system, but they've also been using, this application for their internal IT management as well. Some of the retail consumers like Walmart, right, Amazon, is also using ServiceNow for their internal processes. So it's also into manufacturing, telecom, public, energy, automotive, aerospace, education, and hospitality. And if you see as of now, right, there are around more than 8,000 customers worldwide using the ServiceNow as a tool, and 85% of the organizations which falls under 400 also uses uh, this tool, right? Uh, and not only specific for IT, right? Like, say, for example, Walmart uses the service now for their entire HR, HR management systems. And some of the retail services like Best Buy and I think there are other organizations which are not mentioned here. They also uses ServiceNow to manage all their retail services, products, complaints, everything, their end-to-end store management system within ServiceNow, right? It's not only specific to ticketing, but there are a lot of other processes that ServiceNow has, matured enough to embed those processes within ServiceNow, right? Let me, show how the tool, looks like. I hope you all can see my screen, right? So this is my personal demo instance. So this might be little slow, but in general, it is not that slow. Okay. So it is pretty fast and robust. Okay. So this is the screen that you're seeing right now. We call it as a backend screen. Okay. The, uh, the screen where the actual support agents work. And this is the screen. Like I mentioned, this is just a demo instance, so the screen is not that intuitive, but the look and feel. But this is the default employee center page where actually the end users within the organization sees. Okay, so for example, as an end user, when I log in, so I have an issue with my software, right? So like I like say uh, unable to install, right? So it automatically searches all your knowledge articles within the system and it shows some relevant articles. But as of now, like I mentioned, it's just the demo instance. it does not have the complete information. Like, this is how the article looks like. Sorry, someone said something.
Yeah, catalogs.
Yeah. But that catalogs is next, right? So assume that you have to raise a certain request. All right. So that's where you go into catalogs, where you can see, like say, install software, right? So you can have your catalog request wherein you can go ahead, what software you want to install. Does the software require any media disks and all? Yes or no? And you can click on order. So it automatically creates a request. So this is just the front end, how the end user, is visible, right? For an end user. Then under my tasks, you can see all your tasks. And this is something that is out of the box, but this is all been modified according to the organizational needs. Okay. You can see all your requests over here under one page, under which status it is, and you can see and stuff. Now, for all these tickets, right, because this is just a front end for all the end users, they just see a ticket and what status it is in. And let's see how it actually looks and how it actually works in the backend. So this is, we call it as navigational menu, right? When you click on all, you'll see all the applications that are there within ServiceNow, which are enabled in ServiceNow. Okay, so I'll just pin my menu. Okay, so this is all the menu applications, and this list varies based on the person who logs into the system. Say, for example, if an IT help desk agent logs in, he only sees the IT related left navigation modules. In case if an HR agent logs in, then he will not be seeing the IT related, but he'll be seeing only HR related application module. So everything is role-based access controlled. Okay. So it's all fine-grained and coarse-grained accesses that are being provided within ServiceNow. And here you can see on the right side, you have your own profile menu. Under this, you can see your profile. You can have your own preferences. And these are for administrators who are admins. They can see only these two, but you can see your preferences. Also, you can change your preferences. You can change the look and feel of your instance, which will be applicable only to you. Okay, so these changes that you can make, you can change the theme of your instance, how it should look like. You can also change some of the accessibilities, notifications. You can subscribe to some of the notifications. You can disable and stuff. So these are something that are available to users, and these are user specific. It also gives a flexibility to impersonate a different user, and this is specifically for developers and testers. Say, for example, I have developed something for an HR agent, and if I want to test that, how do I test as an HR agent? So here it gives you flexibility to log in as a specific HR agent. Say, for example, if Luke is an HR agent, I can just click on him and impersonate user. So it automatically impersonates as him, and it will show me only the modules that he can access. So for example, it's still loading. If you see here, it has directly went to the service operations workspace where the actual agent works on the tickets. I'll show it later. So if you see here, now I can see only limited set of applications. You see, this is done. There are no system related applications and all that I can see because he's not entitled to see it. So I have now impersonated as Luke Wilson. So if I see who has impersonated to, it is Luke Wilson. Okay. So now the system behaves as Luke Wilson, like whatever accesses he has, only that you can see it. So you can also test as a Luke Wilson. Okay. This helps me in testing the required functionality by impersonating to the specific users. Okay. I've just ended the impersonation. Now, say for example, incident, right? So now you can see all the applications under incident. You can see open and assigned. So this is how agent looks, right? So now, for example, you have worked on an incident call, incident 0001, say for example, this one only, that is as an end user, this one, right? So this is how the agent sees the incident information. This is the end user who has raised the incident, but this is the actual agent who is actually working on it. It gets assigned to a group, it gets assigned to a specific user, Okay, he can also see, he can also associate this to a different incident. If it is resolved, he can also associate, put some resolution information here. If there is a knowledge article that helped him, he can also link this incident to the knowledge articles. There are SLAs, right? SLAs meaning there are some service level agreements for every process. Like for every incidents, change, problem, we have certain service level agreements, embedded within the system, where it says within how much time you have to respond to an incident and within how much specific time you have to resolve an incident. And if you see here, this is already elapsed. So we have already crossed the given SLA time. So now it comes as an elapsed information, meaning that we have not met the required timeline. Okay, that has certain implications to it. I mean, which we can detailedly learn into it in the training sessions and stuff. Okay, and you can also see different actions here, right? So assume there is an incident because it says phishing in ServiceNow Outlook, right? So which can be a security related incident. So this is just a normal incident, right? So he can directly click on this create security incident. So what happens is it creates a security related incident and links to this incident, and that security incident will be automatically assigned to an security group. Okay, and also here you can see all the related articles related to this phishing available here for an agent. So he can also view through some of these articles and see what needs to be done and stuff. So this is one way. The other way is ServiceNow recently introduced workspaces, wherein it's an space wherein you can work on multiple tickets at the same time. Okay, so if I go here, so like I mentioned, this is the demo tool, so it takes a lot of time. But in real time, in your real instances, the infrastructures are high, so it will be pretty fast. But since the demo instance, the infrastructure is pretty less, so it loads little slow. So here you can see the agent can work on interactions, he can work on request management, he can work on tasks, he can work on walkups, he can alerts, incidents, everything. So whatever he has. For example, you wanted to look into this assign incident, so he can just go here, open this incident. So this is the view actually where the agents works on. Okay, so this is how the screen looks like. He has a lot of embedded information into this. He can also view, the recommendations here. Because right now it is not AI enabled for it. If it is AI enabled, you will see a lot of other AI related options here, which does certain automations and stuff. So now this is, for an incident, you have certain and stuff. Now go to the flow. So now when an incident gets created until it gets ended, how the processes, gets designed is something we call it as flow designer. Okay. So flow designer is the place where you actually design your flows, how your flow should go for say, for example, for an incident. When it gets created, it gets created in a new state. And when it has to, progress further, it goes into, in progress state. When someone starts working on it, if you have to hold on it, you can hold on it, resolve state. So how the state flows between, different processes is where you create your own flows. Okay. And how the flows works is, I'll just open one flow. This is for change management process. I just want to show you. Okay, so you have certain actions wherein it says, what needs to be triggered. So as soon as a change request is created, what needs to be done. So there are certain actions that you can define. So based on the actions, the flows get triggered. And also you can check your flows, how it has been executed. Like so for every record, you can see how the flow has executed. You see this has been completed, what all has been executed for debugging and stuff. So here you can just add stuff by just drag and drop things. You can define your flow. So automatically the flow gets executed and it automatically creates tickets and stuff, right? And then you have your reporting capabilities. Like I mentioned, there are a lot of dashboards for every processes. Okay. So you have dashboards, data visualizations, indicators and stuff wherein you can uh, okay. For example, incident management. I've just opened an incident management dashboard wherein the incident managers can view this dashboard. So which talks about a lot of reports here. Uh, you can see overdue incidents, meaning which are pending to be resolved, nearing SLAs, open incidents not updated in the last 90 days, incidents created by priority for the month of Feb, incidents by channel, mean time to resolve. So there are a lot of reports that can be embedded into a dashboard and that you can view here. And the last time that I mentioned, right, an incident. So here, this incident form that you're looking at is nothing but a table within ServiceNow. So as soon as you create a specific table, it automatically creates a form with a list of fields. So that also you can, simply build by, using form designer. Say, for example, I'll just show it on incident table. Okay, so this is the form, right? This is nothing but basically a table. And you are just, as soon as you create a table and fields, it automatically creates a form. And you can design the form using, you have your form builder, wherein you can design your forms, how it should look like, the place, positions and stuff. So this is the form builder, how you build the forms. This is again just, by just dragging and dropping things. You don't need to build everything from scratch. Yes. Yeah, so this is how your form looks like. If you want to, change the position of your fields, you can just, change the positions. If you want to introduce a new field of type active true or false, you can just click on it. You see here, you can, if you want to add this field as well, you can just drag and drop the things here. So you can build the forms like this. Okay, and you can just click on save and you can preview. It shows how, how it visibles. So you can also add related lists. You can also add forms. You can also do, dot box and stuff. There's a lot of things that you can do with that. And if you want, there are something called scripts. People think that it's just forms and stuff, but not. There's a lot of scripts that you can embed. Like say, for example, when an incident is created, automatically you wanted to assign this group to a specific group, right? You wanted to set certain fields to be populated automatically. You wanted some client-side validations, right? You wanted some server-side validations or calculations and stuff, right? So, this is, for example, right? Evaluate major incident trigger. So it basically checks when you're trying to create an incident, a major incident from an incident. This is to just validate, stuff, right? The kind of validations. So this also has a lot of scripting in it. I think it's still loading. Yeah. So there are some scripting that you have to do, within this as well. This is, people think that this is just a ticketing tool. We don't have anything to learn and stuff, but there's a lot of scripting involved in it. There's a lot of code in it. We call it as Glide API. Okay, looks similar like JavaScript. See, ServiceNow is built on the top of Java, so it's not any other technology. It's just built on top of Java. So it also inherits the the properties of Java. So it has its own, OOPS concepts within ServiceNow. It has the inheritance concept. It has, the interface concepts and stuff. It also works on, like same like Java. We can also embed Java related libs into ServiceNow and make use of it. So there's a lot of stuff in it, I mean, which we will be detailedly learning it uh, in the training sessions and stuff on hands-on and stuff. But you see here also we have a lot of scripting in it. There are certain actions when to execute and stuff, and it also has its own integration capabilities. Uh, yeah. So any questions? Okay. So before that, so this is just in basic 30-day training, and this is not for everyone, but this is basically for freshers who's coming out of the colleges, and this varies based on the participants. Huh? So for freshers, it's different. For experienced, it's different. For more, well, already persons who are working on service and want to migrate to different applications, this will differ again. Huh? So this is basically an basic training for a fresher that we wanted to embed into. What to you, Kishore? Okay, there.
No, in a sense, like you say, it is only for fresher. But what if someone wants to upskill, when who knows something on service now and he wants to have a deep dive on it?
Yes,
So I think we can prepare a kind of
yes,
separate
yes, yes.
curriculum for them,
It
right?
like I mentioned, it differs based on the need, because if there
Mm.
is someone who is already an system administrator and wanted to, move towards an more advanced application developer, so the plan differs for them. And for example, if someone is an expertise in ITSM only, and he wanted to move, towards the other modules that he wanted to learn, the HRSD specifically in service now, right? So then the training plan differs for that, right? Because it specifically concentrates only on HRSD specific topics, and it cannot be, and it will not last for 30 days. It can also be, it can also do in 20 days, right? So it all depends on the needs.
Okay. So based on people who join the training sessions, we can discuss and have
Exactly.
an interaction with them, and based on that, like we can, tweak the training structure of it.
True,
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
And one thing that I can confidently say is, I mean, you have a lot of friends and stuff. You can probably check, and you might have also seen in a lot of big colleges and stuff, right? So they are already giving trainings on, service now during their final years. Okay, so post their trainings, I think they're also trying to, embed them into the organizations during their on-campus interviews. And if you see, um, like I mentioned, right, I've been into service now for now 18 years in service now, been into the development. So I've started as a developer. I started in 2009 when ServiceNow was pretty new. So I came from the Java background, right? So when I joined ServiceNow in 2009, I have a feeling like, this is a new tool, how the life would be and stuff. But believe me, and there are certain situations where I was able to sustain in the organizations or within the market because of ServiceNow, because there's a lot of tools, a lot of technologies, there are a lot of tools in the market. I see a lot of people moving, into ServiceNow, migrating into ServiceNow because of its wide set of capabilities, wide set of functionalities within ServiceNow. Okay, and there's a lot of opportunities on ServiceNow within the market at any given point of time.
I think we are running out of time, so we'll just run the slide. You can
Yeah,
make it full screen. I'll just nothing much to say now, guys. So as part of training, our training process, right? Like what we are trying to say is like it's not like you're going to invest something on this and you're going to get some 30 days training or 40 days training, whatever it may be. So after that, many institutes, what they do is just like they will be they will be disconnect between you and the institute people and all. But we are actually come up with a kind of process where we actually be in touch with like whoever getting trained in this particular Kalki tech. So in the sense like to get connected, so the screen what you're looking at is like related to a kind of technology which is a reporting tool like Power BI. So there are people who got trained on this Power BI, and what we did is like we have a separate application for the technology, and we pull up everyone who got trained on this Power BI in our institute or in a company. So what we do is we always stay connect with them. If they have any questions on it, if they want to, learn a kind of, get prepared for the interviews, or if they want to test their skills by doing some tasks which are there in the application, or if they want to connect to the mentor to get clarification on some doubts what they have. And also we provide an opportunity, to book a session if they're stuck in any implementation what they do, when it might be when they're doing the practicing stuff, or maybe after the upskill, he might be getting an opportunity in another company, and maybe in that particular project if he's stuck also, that it is just like a app away. They can log in, and they can connect with us, and we're going to help you on it. And as I'm saying, like the screen is only talking about the Power BI. The similar way for other technologies also, we have some different applications. And it's absolutely free for lifetime. And we will actually do a kind of recordings for every session what we train you on, and we are going to save that in this particular application. And for the lifetime, whenever you are free, you can actually refer it, and you can make use of this particular app. And as I said, it is entirely free for you, and it is good for you to you know brush up on your skills again. And one more opportunity is like people who get trained in this particular Kalki Tech. So if there might be a situation where they might miss the sessions, or they might miss the sessions. After that, they're going to refer the recording still if he has some doubts, right? And he wants to rejoin the same kind of maybe to the next batch and all. It's for just like free of cost. We're going to ask them to join for the next batch, so that maybe the entire 30 days he can take the training for free. So these are like few things we follow to make sure like whoever joins Kalki Tech should be for sure getting what is expected, and get trained on the technologies, or get settled in the opportunities what we have in the market. So we are there to help you from end to end. And it's your turn to decide to take the decision. Okay. So just go to the next screen. I know it's like less crowd over here, but we have some offline people who are sitting here and listening to the demo. But still, if you want, you can connect us through the WhatsApp, or any registration. We already sent the registrations, right? You can show your interest or there, or you can call us back on the same number, which is 9589718971. You can take a screenshot of it and get back to us if interested. Like mostly, maybe next week we're going to start this service now training, and we can move forward. Okay. Anything else you want from your end? Any questions? So assuming that, no questions from your end, feel free to, you can come and contact the number what we are sharing here. And if you have any questions, please revert back. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks and all for joining.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.